Americans had been working on a design of their own. The brief was for a versatile tank capable of armoured support in a variety of combat arenas. It was better than anything the Allies had come up with before.
Richard was a deeply religious man, born into a royal family struggling for survival. He was also a formidable soldier and devoted long hours to sword practice, to the point where the muscles in his right arm became freakishly well developed. But as he manoeuvred his way to the throne, he left behind him a trail of blood that revealed a ruthless streak.
Well, the Sherman had the mobility, but the Sherman also had something else. It had the full weight of the American automobile industry behind it. And believe it or not, this car would hold the key to the eventual domination of the Sherman over the Tiger on the battlefield.
What a terrifying experience this must have been, being faced with this wall of steel, tightly packed, poking into your face, slashing and gouging. Musketeers would be on the sides, on the flanks of the infantry, and they would fire into the enemy and then withdraw back into the safety that the pikes could afford.
What you do is line up the top of the leaf at the end of the rifle with the center of the aperture to the rear of the rifle, aim and squeeze the trigger. You'll see it hardly moves at all.
This peasant army was a real threat to William's ambitions, but he knew it had to disperse at the end of the summer in order to bring in the harvest. It would take weeks to reassemble. All he had to do was assemble his army and wait. Sure enough, the inevitable happened. Despite superhuman efforts, Harold was forced to disband his army on the 8th of September, 1066. The whole of the south coast now lay totally unprotected.
In the end, it was a numbers game. The Sherman was produced in massive numbers, almost 50,000 of them, but fewer than 1,400 Tigers were built. Allied military strategists realized, perhaps rather callously, that even if it took 4 or 5 Shermans to knock out one Tiger, they could be replaced easily, whereas a Tiger couldn't. In this respect, the Sherman was superior. But if you asked soldiers on both sides which tank they'd rather have fought in, you'd find out pretty quickly which was their tank of choice.